Hello, everyone, and welcome to some Sky Factory 2.4. For today's episode, for those of you watching on YouTube and for those of you on Twitch, you've already heard me say this. We're actually going to be talking really quickly about an announcement I read today, which is May 10th, which you guys on YouTube will be watching on May 11th. So this was posted earlier by actually a number of different people, but the one I saw it off of was Wild, who is a guy who kind of helps put together the mod packs and does a lot of the work for that. That's my understanding of it. Now, I don't claim to know the man. I don't claim to really understand what they're all doing and all that stuff, but it did seem like he has a lot to do with the mod pack and such like that. So I'm going to kind of pin it on him as kind of the ringleader of this whole operation. But anywho, Skoodoodles, while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be working on trying to improve what we got going on in terms of our little supply chain here, because it's sorely in need of help. Someone did tell me actually that sticks can be used to separate pipes and stuff like that. So if I want you to behave a little bit differently, I can apparently do that, which I don't think it looks like that happened. So who knows? It does appear that I can like just tell it to just be like, nah, I don't want you to connect in certain ways, but we'll see. But anyways, the announcement was that 2.5 will be coming out relatively soon. 2.5 should be coming out sometime within a week or so, is what we've been hearing. And so I am very excited for that, but it also kind of makes it sort of obsolete to work on anything too grand here, which is both a shame but also something that we're really looking forward to, right? So I will be moving to 2.5 straight away. I think it's going to be really exciting, and we learned a lot. I also made a QED actually, because we started recording one episode, and I was like, I'll put a QED together and put it together, and then I looked at the stuff that's required for magnum torches, which for those of you who don't remember magnum torches and the ordeal that you have to go through and how many children you have to basically have to carry on your legacy afterwards, you need 5 chandeliers, 2 of these oak woods, and then these 2 things of potions of healing and regeneration. It's not necessarily that's really that bad to do, but it is a pain in the butt to make. And the chandeliers aren't much better. The torches obviously not being the problem, but the gold and the diamonds are sort of like, you can make a whole bunch of chandeliers, but at what cost? So we'll definitely be kind of messing around with that whenever we come to 2.5, but I just don't see the point in spending that much time and doing that right now. So unfortunately, it looks like the base, like the massive changes here are going to probably come to a screeching halt just because of that, but I will continue working on some other things. Specifically, I'm going to be very curious about how we can do some modular improvements that we can carry over to 2.5 in preparation for 2.5. So very, very excited to see how that's all going to go down, because I personally am I've been looking forward to 2.5 a lot. I haven't spoiled myself too much. I admit I did get a little bit of a sneak peek whenever I looked at Wild's stream, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what you got going on here. There were a couple of different mechanics in there. I saw something like resource cows. It was very strange, but it looked really cool, so I'm really, really excited for it. But anyways, 2.5 coming out, so we're going to focus on things that we can carry over to 2.5 from 2.4. Now, I'm not going to bring the map over or anything like that, but what I am going to do is I'm going to actually really try to learn how to set my base up a little bit more efficiently, and hopefully next time I'm not going to build my base in a slime chunk, because this was truly the worst thing ever. So anyways, lots of dust, sand production is all going fine and dandy, but that's not what we really want, right? What we really want to have here is we want to have some other things going, and we want this production to start increasing for the broken ores, the crushed ores, as well as the powdered ores, so we can convert that. And right now this looks like a hot mess. Now, historically, what we did here was we would put this together in such a way that we would have them kind of all laterally connected. I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually try to do some different things here. We're going to test out some stuff. Mainly, I'm going to be interested in seeing whether or not I can make it vertical. I feel like verticality would be a very, very nice adjustment here. So because they are somewhat expensive, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of rip them out on the fly, and then we'll also be able to, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what the general game plan for certain things are, because there is a lot of stuff going on with the change from 2.5, because we've been doing Sky Factory 2.4 as quote unquote the main series for a little while now. And I know this is going to be like kind of a sudden change, because it's kind of coming out of nowhere almost, that we're just kind of like, oh yeah, we're going to make the swap now, and then that's going to probably raise some questions. So we are going to be choosing a very similar style and approach to how we're going to hit up 2.5 to 2.4. Now, when I say that, what I really mean is like we're going to keep the same style of it's going to be progressive, and right now my plan is to keep it solo. Now, a lot of people have been requesting, hey, Choco, could you play Sky Factory 2.5 with person X or person Y or person Z? And as much as I understand and appreciate, like, hey, you guys really do want to be able to watch content from people that you really have enjoyed watching in the past and stuff like that, and you would like to see a collaboration. Collaborations are great, but they can be somewhat limiting at times. But the current deal that I made in stream chat and I open up to everyone here on YouTube is if you guys really, really want me to do a collaboration effort with somebody, anyone at all, then what you want to do is you want to go message them. Don't harass them. Don't annoy them into the ground. But message them and say, hey, listen, we think it would be really cool if you could, that was weird, if you could do a collaboration with Choco on Sky Factory 2.5. And if I hear back from them and it makes perfect amounts of sense, right? If you tell me like, I don't know, freaking Gordon Ramsay wants to play Sky Factory 2.5, I'm going to raise my eyebrows and probably be like, he's probably not the best choice. He's Gordon Ramsay. I'm sure he's plenty cool, but it's not quite what I want. So we'll definitely see. But regardless, definitely a little bit of that going on in terms of I'm going to make sure that things are all kosher. But yeah, if you guys want a collaboration, that would be the way to do it. So I know a lot of people have been asking that, and I wanted to kind of cut that off at the head and make sure that people have the opportunity to do those, well, push for those kinds of things, but know what way to go about doing it correctly. So there is that. Now let me put these guys back into here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out. Let's go ahead and also snag up all these guys. Ooh, we're already filling up. We're already filling up actually with some of our slot. That first one, there's 63 of 63 types to use. That's the main thing. We still have room per item. So we're probably on here right now, yeah, 19 of 63 used. But these things can hold weight. But anyways, so yeah, that's the current game plan. Ooh, dang, that's a lot of dust. That's the current game plan. There will be a couple of other things about Sky Factory 2.5. There is a list of mods and stuff like that. Hopefully, if I remember for the YouTube episode, I will leave a link to that in the description. If I don't, then you can look it up. I'm sure it's somewhere fairly easy to find. But there's a bunch of different mods in the mod pack. The one thing that has not changed, and probably the most important one among any of them, is the fact that Sky Factory 2.5 is going to have big reactors, and the same big reactors that we know. Now, a lot of you might be like, okay, well, what's really like the importance of that? I don't quite understand. The big importance about that is that all the current ideas and stuff that we've learned from Sky Factory 2.4 is going to carry over to 2.5. So the general scheme of this power plant will continue to exist. The layout of the base is going to be somewhat similar to this idea of the power plant will be in the center. Because we didn't finish it in this season, I'm definitely going to try to finish it in the next season. It's going to be very, very pressing in order to kind of get that all done, but I'm hoping to get that done and get it done well. But we'll see. But yeah, Sky Factory 2.5 is going to be a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of crazy differences, a lot of crazy changes, but I think it should be also a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to learning about new mods. I'm hoping that they have an achievement book kind of thing prepped and ready to go, because I desperately need them in ways like that's really, really sad, actually. I don't know if I could really do it without it. But I'm very much looking forward to 2.5, and I hope you guys are too. I know it's kind of a bummer to say like, oh, you know what, we're going to have to kind of say goodbye to this like our old base and stuff like that, and I know that's always kind of a bummer, but I think that the payout will be awesome and huge, because we're going to suddenly be running around doing a whole bunch of cool stuff in 2.5, and then 2.5 is not going to be hopefully replaced too terribly soon. Hopefully it'll last quite a while, and so we can make ourselves a really cool world. And I do have some really like crazy cool plans, I think, for them. The one thing I will say though is it's going to still be about progression, right? It's still going to be about taking my time, having fun, and building up into kind of a juggernaut. We didn't quite hit the juggernaut point on this playthrough, because we've played for a while, but I've kind of been taking my time learning some things here and there, and not really trying to break the camel's back. But I'm going to be a lot more aggressive in 2.5, so be ready for that whenever it does come out. In the interim, though, there's a question of what do I do in the interim. because obviously with 2.5 coming out, well, there's not as much of a point. There's still a point, right? But there's not as much of a point to really stress out about what we do in 2.4. And so again, we're going to be focusing on the modular things. We're going to be focusing on that kind of stuff and being like, hey, you know what? Let's work our way towards the goal of like learning, or not learning things per se. All the learning things would still be true. But let's go ahead and work towards slowly kind of getting a sense of, hey, we can port this over to 2.5. So that kind of stuff. So which is why we're going to be working on ex nihilo, ex Astris stuff, because the early game is really tough. The early game is a bit of a grind. I went about it in a very, very bizarre way. So I'll be quite keen to also I hope I'm quite clean, but hopefully we'll be quite ready to go and prepared to kind of make those adjustments so our early game isn't quite as bad as it was this season, because this was our first time really messing around with a lot of those mods, and I think that it'll be a good learning experience. Let me go ahead and make the flux duct. Flux ducts. And also there's gonna be some other things coming out of the woodwork. I know I say this all the time, but I promise, you can even ask people that saw the stream. There is definitely gonna be some stuff kind of coming through the pipeline, making its way to you guys, and you guys might have the opportunity to kind of see some really cool, neat things. If you kind of hang in there and be patient, because we have been working on some other stuff here. I'm really excited for at least one really big announcement whenever that comes around. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff in the works. Alright, so let me see here. This is the pulverizer. So that's going to create gravel and sand. So this one can actually, not necessarily, it doesn't have to actually even be this close. It probably even shouldn't be this close, because all this is doing is transmitting cobblestone to the pulverizer. So let me go ahead. I want to break you down. Let's move you, Tesseract. Let's move you so this whole system has some room to breathe. Alright, and then we are going to move you, because Tesseracts don't require power, so I don't really need to worry about that. But what I will do is I'm going to hook you up. Let's put you right here for the time being. And then what that's going to do, hopefully, I have to make sure this is still facing the right way. I think this is gonna be facing the wrong way. So I need to face it through the wall. Okay, so let's see here. Just for giggles, let's go ahead and put a cobblestone here. Perfect. And then we are going to, can I do it like this? I think that worked. Alright, so now there's an output slot here. There's a sand slot right there. We also have the input slot coming in from there, so this guy should be able to give this one red after I change this to a blue. I think this one has to be blue. Yeah, there we go. And already there it goes. It's off to the races. So step number 1. Now, because that's sand, what we should do is we should combine the sand resources into the same spot. That's just something that is a good thing to do. But we still need an area to process gravel. So let's go ahead. And I think this is going to be the only lateral point here. But we're going to go ahead and make this one point into a gravel collection area. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And now that's going to be collecting all the gravel from here. And then it's going to transmit over to there. And it's off to the races. Very good. Cool. Alright, so we have one thing of gravel, but we aren't just satisfied with one thing of gravel, right? We do need a couple more. So I'm going to need some transfer pipes here to aid me in my struggles. And we're going to have to actually do this in a really weird way. So there is going to be that pulling the sand out of the pulverizer. Now, how are we going to do this is the question. I think what I'm going to do, we'll take this automatic hammer. We need, so it goes from gravel to sand to dust. And then we also are going to have to sieve every single one of those levels. So we have the gravel sieving ready to go. And we're going to just kind of go from there. But let's see here. I don't even know what's in here. Oh. Well, that was what was in there. It was a whole bunch of sand. Oh my. Give me uno momento, friend. I need to put all this stuff away because I just had sand explosion. So much sand. So much sand. Alright. All right, cool. What does this say? Jeremy Bynum invested $5. Said blow up 2.4 for the last episode. Problem is I don't have game mode. I don't have the ability to just make ton. Well, I guess I do actually have the ability to make tons and tons of TNT. We'll see. I guess for a finale episode we'll do that. So whenever 2.5 is officially announced, I don't know if they're gonna give me any headway for a release, but I'm gonna wait for a while until I do that. But yeah, we'll see. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I think we've been thinking about this wrong. I can make this a lot simpler for myself. Yes, I can. All right, so what I need to do here, actually. Oh, yes. Okay, this is going to make a lot more sense. Check this out. We're going to move this farther over. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to force the pipeline to go that far to reach this gravel output. But in exchange for having done that, what I am going to do is I'm actually going to have this guy, instead of worrying about this as a sand output, I'm going to have that go straight into an automatic hammerer. And this guy is going to create dust. And then from dust, we need to sieve that. So we're going to go ahead and do this, right? And then we need to have an intermediate step added in, which is going to create us supplemental sand and such like that. And that's going to be a fairly important step as well. And then that's going to have to create us gravel, and then gravel's output. So we're going to actually do it like this. And so now we have all that running, and I think all it should really need me to do, because this is creating gravel right here, so I'm going to actually make it do double the work. Alright. And then we should start seeing gravel flowing into here. There we go. Cool. And then obviously, well, let me just do this actually really quick. So we have this transfer node in here. I'm going to throw in, these two things here. And what that's going to do is this is going to make this go a lot faster, because this actually increases the speed at which it searches for inventories. So this will keep those two things always full. This should never ever really dip that far low. I'll even throw in a stack upgrade. That's completely not necessary. But what that's going to do is if I do this, it's going to instantly replace it. So pretty cool, pretty nice. And so if I ever do need to kind of syrup things, I can do that without too much of a kind of consequence there. So gravel system is now flowing, and then from gravel I'm going to have to make that in turn into its components, as well as doing this one more time like so. And so now it's going to be supplemented with sand from here, from this automatic hammer, and we want this production to be fairly fast, so I'm going to go ahead and put all the speed upgrades into there. So that's going to start producing sand faster. That's going to in turn get sand faster, and then this one's also going to get sand faster. And so we should actually have ourselves a fairly compact version of this. This is way cleaner than it used to be. And then this is because we do value dust a little bit higher than sand, and as well as a little bit higher than gravel's components. We should end up finding that we are actually going to come out quite well on top. The only thing that I will say about sand is that obviously, and we can look at the drop list for this. So whenever you sieve this down, you can get yellorium dust. That's the one thing that's kind of irksome about this. But I do think that with a 1% chance of dropping, there's like we can eventually get it there where we could have enough production. But I think yellorium is better off done with magical crops. This will be the one thing that we really push for in regards to getting the growth pulsars and stuff whenever we hit 2.5. I think that I'm going to really aggressively push for a good magical crops thing for yellorium, and that's it. Yellorium is the only real thing I'm too worried about, because we don't have to do it that often, but we have to do it enough that we do have to be a little bit mindful. So we'll see. We'll go from there. And of course, we won't start off with this really big reactor, right? This one was 31 by 31. We will eventually go for another 31 by 31 in 2.5, but for the time being, I mean, we only have one of those, and this costs a lot, right? So we're going to start off smaller, probably still make it fairly tall. If I can, I would like to make it go the whole stretch, but we'll see. We'll definitely play around with it, and it's going to be a lot of trial and error still. But I think this is a general modular layout for the ex nihilo stuff. It's actually quite good. Oh, I guess this is technically ex Astris, because I think this is this is ex Astris. So I think overall though, it's actually looking pretty darn good. I'm going to put fortune on here because of course that is very important. Now, the one other thing that we have not done yet, excuse you 1,000 times over. Let me go ahead, get one Tesseract, so boop, And then let's do another boop skadoodles right there. And so the one thing I am going to do is I'm going to slap that Tesseract right onto there. And then I am going to create another frequency. And we're going to call it the send items frequency. And this one works fine. I don't know what it was about Tesseracts in KwehCraft. KwehCraft Tesseracts just really disliked me. But this one seems to be working alright. So we're going to call this one sending items. And then we're going to go ahead and create that frequency. So there we go. Cobblestone's on 3, sending items is on 4. I'm going to go ahead and set it to sending items, and then we're going to go ahead disable the redstone signal because we want it to always be working. And we are going to have it so it receives items only. And then eventually, I guess we were going to need, oh, yeah. So we're going to have to do probably a transfer node or something. Can you just not? It really is like the biggest misfortune that we ended up hitting a slime. Like that was, I can't believe our luck. All right, and then the Tesseract, we can just kind of hang one out all the way here at the bottom. So just like so. And then the outputs of those things will be there. You can see it slowly but surely chugging along, doing its thing. But it is going to be a slow going. Now let's see here. I'm going to put the speed upgrades into here because we do want the dust production to be somewhat faster than what it's going right now. Because we do want to have excess dust. But you can see that that's all running, so that's actually all good and ready to go. Now there is one sieve that we currently don't have anything connected to, and that's this guy right over here. Now, I mean, the cheap and easy way to do this, right, would be to do it like this. Alright, this is getting annoying. Alright, so that is the quick and easy way to do this. Not the best way by any means, but it works. Let me go ahead and just disable that. Okay, set the frequency. I'm pretty sure it's still on lava. Because, you know, whoops. Yeah, let's go ahead and set it to sending items. Very, very cool. And then now it should be taking all the items from here, and it should be sending off to its happy little place. Yep, there it goes. And then that in turn should be sending it into here. Now I don't think it's going to be able to put it into that chest, so I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to have to do that. And then it should be sending items to this chest. So, yep, there we go. We saw a couple of things kind of changing up here. And yep, I just saw that tick up. There's a bone meal going up slowly. Very, very cool. And then now this transfer node, I'm assuming it's not going to be too terribly busy. It's the height chunk, not the chunk. Well, there's slime chunks, right? So there's two different components. If you're in a slime chunk, it enables you to find slimes below a certain point. Unless it's different in the mod pack, or it was just for whatever reason different in 1.7.10. But at least since How to Minecraft, that's the way it's always been. Even like you have to go below a certain point, but also in a slime chunk, it has to be within a slime chunk. Not every single area is going to spawn slimes. But all right, cool. So that is all that. I guess. Ooh. I'm actually out of yellorium. All right. Well, either way, I'm actually really happy with this design. This can definitely be improved. And my gut feeling is that the way to improve this would be, well, I don't know. I guess the real way to do this, or the kind of the quote-unquote good way to do this, would be if I could tuck this Tesseract behind... Oh, wait, but that's where the grill is. Well, the grill would have to be touching the redstone. The RF piping, or whatever the case may be whenever we do this. But the grill should be facing the power, and then we would have to have the Tesseract facing another side. And then, like, the Tesseract back there, and then we can add an item thing that's going to loop around, like, down and around like that, and it's going to loop into there. That will be a little bit more compact than this. This one's just obviously really awkward looking, but you get the idea. So I think that would be a generally good idea for Astris. I think that's a pretty good setup. Doesn't cost too much by way of pipes. This costed, what, 1, 2, 3... This will cost us probably like around 10 pipes total, I would say. And then quite a few transfer nodes though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So probably about 8 is what we're going to need. So 8 transfer nodes, which would be, what, 2 pearls and some other random stuff. And then like a handful of pipes. This shouldn't be too bad. So overall, pretty cool. All right, well, anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of KwehCraft. Oh, actually, that's not true. I have one more thing I'm going to do because a lot of people have been kind of like, Choco, you have to do this because this has been driving us crazy since day one. So we're going to go ahead and do one more thing, which is we're going to actually go ahead and make ourselves some punji sticks. And punji sticks are, of course, they're like spikes, but they kill. And punji sticks, if you put enough of them down, actually will kill with like a certain level of looting on them. So it's pretty good for farming materials. Pretty nice. We didn't do it previously because we were trying to level up our Tinker's tools, but Trey's is godlike, Daredevil's godlike, our Scythe is godlike that we never named, Kunai is godlike. Pixie can still go, but honestly, what we should do, I should actually chop these trees down like immediately. The one thing that we should have done is we should have taken Pixie over and gone to the Deep Dark, and the Deep Dark would have allowed us to do a whole bunch of those. So let me go ahead and... Did someone just have flower pants on? I think I just saw someone with flower pants on. Huh, interesting. All right, so punji sticks. Punji sticks are requiring sugar cane. So punji. So these things here, punji sticks. 5 creates 5. And you can put 5 down per. So we're going to need 45 sugar cane in total. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, as I've been saving up some of these bad boys, some of these sugar cane here for quite some time here. So let me see if I can hunt down where the remnants of the illustrious clan of sugarcane are. So I'm pretty sure I saved a fair bit of them. Alright. I am... Oh wait, they might be in the enemy system, and they actually might be over here. Very possible. Aha, indeed. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm just gonna do it this way. And then I'm just gonna do that. I'm going to take the sticks out, and then punji sticks. All right, cool. And then let's go ahead and put the punji sticks down, and let's see what they do. Let us see what we get out of this. So bang, down they go. Very, very cool. Whoop. And then let's go ahead and knock them out. Get out. Wow, you guys just don't want to die. All right. Are we good? All right, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and break these all down. Let's drop some punji sticks. So there you go. Putting 5 down per. And let's see. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, I'm standing on a punji stick, like, please. Alright. There we go. And... perfection. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead, and we're actually going to take out, yeah, we're going to just, I guess I'm just going to, well, we can see. So based off the wooden spike, I guess we can tell. So let's give it some distance, and let's kind of see it claim its first victim at least, because it shouldn't take that long for it to claim its first victim. It's daylight. There's no other place for them to spawn. They should be spawning in there. So let's see. They say a watch kettle never boils. Let's hope that's not true. Let's hope that it boils really quickly. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I don't know why I just said the McDonald's thing when I think about dying mobs, but that's what I did, because I'm a monster. Also, we never got another pig. And this darn sheep, I don't know how it gets out, but it still hasn't eaten grass to refill its wool. Sad times, man. Sad, sad times. No takers, huh? No mobs at all? For one time in the history of this, I want to hear sound here. How long has it been since I've heard sound? There's a creeper. He's coming down. Oh, come on. Don't tease me. Come down here. Oh, look at that. I saw a Minicio, a loot bag, and something else. Yeah, I guess it's really hard to tell because obviously, you know, we're gonna put this on sending items, and you were gonna be sending items. So boom, set, and now it should be draining. Perfecto. Cool. All right, let's see here. Any other takers? Oh, come on. Where are you, adventurous critters? I know you guys live up there. Come on. Well, either way, you get the idea. Punji sticks will kill now. they'll also grab us some more items. I think that's pretty good. I think we saw, what, gunpowder, Minicio essence, and a loot bag. I think that's what I saw in total. There might even have been a duplicate. We also had one thing spawn here the other day. Kind of sad. I'm going to leave a punji stick here, which apparently ends my life. Oh, it puts slowness on you? What happens if you put 5? Oh, it still gives you slowness. Alright, well, whatever. That's actually kind of terrifying that punji sticks do that much to you. Who knew? Alright, well anyways, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to Sky Factory 2.5. You may see some kind of different stuff floating around on the channel in the interim. There will be at least one more Sky Factory 2.4 episode, which I'm going to be playing around with for sure, but probably going to be looking more towards Sky Factory 2.5. I don't know what else I can really put into here that's going to be about learning about something modular I can bring into 2.5. That's going to be a quick learn. But if you guys have any ideas or suggestions, let me know, and we'll see you hopefully, guys, really soon. Who knows? Maybe the next time I see you all in regards to Sky Factory, maybe 2.5. We don't know, but we will see. So take care, everyone, and ciao for now.